Come with us on a journey into the unknown, the unexplained, and the unbelievable. We will test your senses and challenge your beliefs. A world where science and religion clash. Or do they? You will meet real people and hear real stories, but you will not believe. You will witness strange sights and hear strange sounds, but you will not believe. This is the New England Ghost Project. Welcome to the nightmare.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ghost Chronicles. Why can't I hear myself? What's going on here?
Can't hear yourself? What happened?
What happened
You
here?
could hear yourself before.
I know, but I can't hear myself. No, I don't like that.
Turn up your volume a little bit.
How's that? No. What the hell? You know what? We just did a Patreon thing. I could hear myself fine.
You and equipment in this show.
What the frig is going on? All right.
Try another headset if you want.
I don't know. Whatever. I'm done with it. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ghost Chronicles Morning Edition with Lou and Ron right here on the net. New England Talks 102.9 FM HD2 for you that have those fancy FM HD radios.
That's right.
And also we are on someplace. Good Morning page or whatever.
We're on TojiNet. We're on the Net New England Talks. We're on Ghost Chronicles Morning Edition.
Or what else? We were on some other one we found out last week.
Oh, yeah. We found one we didn't know we were on.
We didn't even know we were on.
Yeah.
Who the hell knows we were on?
Oh, it was one of the major podcast outlets.
Yeah, it was a major podcast. So it's like whatever.
Yeah, we're all over the place.
Yeah. It's like a bad penny.
Was it Spotify? Was it Apple Podcasts or something? We're just surprised to find out we're there.
No, it's Vimeo, maybe?
Vimeo?
I don't know.
Yeah,
who knows?
Yeah.
I give it up. Anyways, we're there.
All over the place.
We're playing. So anyway, before we just did a piece for our Patreon listeners. If you're not a Patreon listener of Ghost Chronicles Radio, why not? But you help support us, and
you get some exclusive content.
You do get some very exclusive content. And we just did a piece on that. We're talking about my near-death experience and some other stuff. And Lou said, basically it was all in my mind.
I did not. I did not.
Sort of.
I asked you how you. I asked you how you dealt with that particular theory.
Yeah, but the power of the mind is extremely powerful.
Of course,
more powerful than we thought. Did you ever hear of the, oh God, when am I going to think of this? I can't remember. It's harmonica. It's basically a bunch of glass bowls that are on a spindle thing. And people wet their hands and they played music on it.
Yep.
Invented by Ben Franklin.
Oh, of course.
So if you put Ben Franklin in the Funkin' Wagnall, I think I could
Ben seemed to have a lot of free time.
He was quite the guy. He was a member of the Hellfire Club.
It was the Hellfire Club.
What? We'll have to get what's his name on Steve Parson.
Steve Parson,
because his relatives was.
Oh, it's an English club or something.
It was a secret tunnels and everything where they supposedly did stuff. And anyways,
Ben Franklin was into everything, wasn't he?
He was. He invented electricity. Well, so he proved electricity, right?
I type Ben Franklin bowls and get a Ben Franklin breakfast bowl.
They have a Ben Franklin breakfast bowl.
Apparently, yeah.
I love it.
Harmonica, is that what we're looking at?
Yeah.
Harmonica,
yeah. No,
harmonica with no H.
Thank you. Bifocals, you were asking what he invented. Swim fins.
Swim things?
Fins.
Fins,
for swimming.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Franklin stove, of course.
Wouldn't you have loved to have a beer with Ben Franklin? I mean, wouldn't you have just
the urinary catheter?
Okay.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
The harmonica, which is what I was talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know where I was, but it was. So, anyways, he had saw a guy.
How does the catheter conversation start? You know what we need?
The second guy, yeah.
No, there's the second guy, yeah.
But anyway, yeah. Anyway, how the harmonica happened is that now in the New Age, they play music on bowls. They play bowls that, that make different noises. Others half full glasses of water will make different noises. And so he saw a musician do that. So he went and he actually invented this harmonica so he could play stuff.
Oh, wait a second. I thought this was just, let me put this back up here.
What are you putting up?
A picture of an harmonica.
There it is.
And I thought that this was, originally we were looking at this photo and I thought it's just a carrying case for the harmonica, but this is the actual machine, right? They're connected together.
Yeah. See the bowls? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So they spin and you put your finger on the correct pitch.
You wet your hands.
Yeah.
You wet your hands and they have a little bowl. You go, and it makes kind of soothing music.
Sure.
So
you've run your finger around a glass, right? Around the glass.
Sure I have.
Yeah.
Coffee. God's gift to man. Anyways.
That's really kind of ingenious.
So, yeah, but there's more to this, and it actually has something to do with what we were talking about.
And
the power of the mind.
Oh, the power of the mind. Okay.
Okay. So there was a doctor from Germany, I believe, Mesmer, I think it was his name. And he decided that, through study, I guess he figured it out, that we have animal magnetism.
Okay.
That's what he called it. This force that runs through us.
Yes.
All right. And sometimes our animal magnetism can become unbalanced.
Is he talking sexually? Or is he
no,
talking
that's the first thing I thought of, but no, that's what he called it.
Oh,
he called this force that ran to us.
Yep.
So he would get people to sit down, and then he would play the harmonica, and then he would run this stick over them and everything else and balance their animal magnetism after a while.
He would run the stick over the people.
Yeah, it was magic wand.
He was like doing Reiki.
Say what you will.
Without the wand.
It was a wand, but he would play this music, and they would almost go into, they would relax. So because this music is very soothing.
Yeah.
And his first patient was a famous composer, a woman, I believe. And she was blind.
Mm.
And after several sessions, she could see again.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep.
And then he ended up with tons of patients who he healed with his harmonica, right?
Oh, yeah.
So this guy's good. So he packed up from Germany and headed to Paris, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his patients was Marie Antoinette.
With the harmonica?
With the harmonica. Yeah.
Ben Franklin giving Marie Antoinette an harmonica treatment.
No comment.
I love Ben Franklin.
It wasn't Ben Franklin.
Oh, it wasn't.
It was Mesmer.
Oh, Mesmer. Okay,
yeah, don't mess this up.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Stay on track.
All right. I'm sorry.
Stay on track.
I'm on track.
Stay on track.
Mesmer, who took the harmonica and started doing treatments with it.
Yeah, he was the one that uses he was a doctor.
Yeah.
So he was the one that treated people. And then he moved his practice to Paris, and Marie Antoinette was his first, one of his high profile patients. And mostly the elite would go to him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of the doctors got their panties in a bunch.
I would imagine.
Because they thought it was quackery.
Yes.
So
it's a word we don't use often enough.
Marie Antoinette's husband, who is
Prince,
King of France,
King of France,
started a royal commission
mm-hmm.
to see if this was true or not.
Because that always works.
And who do they get on the royal commission? Ben Franklin, the inventor of the harmonica.
Is it by coincidence that mesmerizing, the definition of mesmerizing?
Wow, don't kill my story.
I'm sorry. All right. I just ran across it. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Sorry.
So anyways, they had this commission, and Ben Franklin is one of the first patients that were part of this commission.
Yep.
And he had gout. He had gout really bad. And so after the treatment, several treatments, nothing happened. So he called him a quack and everything else. And then he was basically driven out of France. So then the doctors, psychologists, Freud and a bunch, picked up on it
mm-hmm.
and realized that, try to explain, so once again, we got to try to explain everything, how he healed all these people.
Don't say that like it's a bad thing.
So So they try to explain how he healed all these people. And they came up with the idea that it was psychosomatic. In other words, they used the power of the harmonica to mesmerize people,
Right.
where that word comes from.
Yep.
They named them after
So
the
it
doctor.
came from Mesner.
Yes, they named them after the doctor. So there you go.
And they've been credited apparently with inventing hypnotism.
Yes. That's what it was, basically. Yeah.
Have you ever got into hypnotism?
Hell no.
Why do you say it like that?
Because I'm a control freak.
Oh.
Which is why I don't do drugs and I don't drink heavily and
No, I didn't.
anything else. I want to be in control of all time.
I agree. Like you said before the show, we're the same person.
Yeah.
We have the same.
There's no way.
I never wanted
I'm
to
not
be
gonna be in
hypnotized.
control.
I
Yes.
never wanted to be
You were
hypnotized, but I
hypnotized?
wanted to learn how to do it.
Oh, that's
I
fine.
wanted to learn.
I'm good with that.
I wanted to learn about hypnotism, but I was well. I've been.
Well,
It's
here
been
it comes.
It's been attempted on me twice, and I'm not
By
sure.
a professional or
Yes. Once at
or
another.
one that played one on TV.
Once at another radio station.
Uh-huh.
And he tried to hypnotize me before his appearance on the show and couldn't do it. And he took my partner and hypnotized him, and that was funny as hell. But he hypnotized Ray Audrey, the guy who works with Jeff Belanger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we were doing a show together, and he got hypnotized.
We got to get Ray on the show.
Yeah, Ray would be great.
All right,
Ray's
I
terrific.
will contact him.
I love Ray; he's a good guy.
Yeah, I keep saying that, but I forgot.
Yeah, he was hypnotized to think that everyone in the room had enormous BO.
Oh,
And he's trying to do the
I
shift.
was going to say enormous boobs.
No, he's trying to do the interview, and you can see him just reacting to everything that's going on in the room. It's funny. But I couldn't be hypnotized that time. And then I went to a professional to be hypnotized. And I can't say I was 100% under, but I remember certain things, like at a certain point in the session, he's telling me to do something with my hand, and I'm doing it, not unexplainedly, but I'm not complying, like consciously complying, but I'm doing it, So there was a little bit of that going on, but I would love to learn hypnotism.
My problem is I can't quiet my brain.
Yeah.
If people think they can, and I've had people that try to do that, even in meditation.
That was how the guy who couldn't hypnotize
even
me.
in prayer,
yeah,
I still have problems quieting my brain.
That was how the guy who tried to hypnotize me described it. Is you're not focusing in on this. You can't focus in on this. Yeah.
Oh, interesting point. We're going back to what we're talking about, consciousness and so forth, earlier in Patreon thing, right?
Yep.
Oh, at church, I heard yesterday, which was kind of interesting, is that the Holy Spirit, the Catholic definition of the Holy Spirit, is basically like how you do Reiki. Well, I don't know if you know how to do Reiki, but how you pull in things. So basically, it's just the same thing as you're connecting. It's a use to connect to us. God's used to connect to us. Yeah. Does that make sense? I don't know. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
The last couple of times it's been interesting. Church. They also try to explain God, which was kind of cool, and the God doesn't.
The church explained God.
Yeah, it was cool. They do some neat stuff at Mass. They get some cool sermons sometimes. But anyways, they were explaining that God is never in the present, the past, or the future. God is, and they explained that
is present tense, Ron.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
God. All right. So
yeah,
whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Is yeah. No matter where you are, I guess it's still the present, I guess, if that was the way. Well, anyways, what they explained, was through quantum physics, once again.
How so?
Well, think of it as Rodinger's cat there.
Schrodinger's cat.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It
at times exists and doesn't exist. It's alive and not alive at the same time.
Yeah, well, it's not that God is alive or not alive, but
yeah, I know, but yeah,
he's here, there, and everywhere.
It's duality. It's
it's we already know that we can have.
Okay, so I've done this.
We always have future and past particles that that are actually in quantum physics that you can show and whatever. I don't want to get deep into quantum because I just wanted to mention that because we were talking about the other. I don't want to get off into this subject. Okay, so I'm going.
You're going?
I'm going.
All right.
Yeah. We'll let it go.
All right. Yep.
Yeah. I just wanted to explain that the church has been showing different aspects that I had never seen before. And then my thing was trying to talk about the connection.
Mhm.
But anyways, I didn't want to address some of the things that we talked about last week, because that's a lot of things we don't do. Is, one of the things
move
I've
on,
been
yeah.
accused of
Yeah.
is we say you're going to bring stuff up and you don't bring things up. And so we wanted to do that. And we've been fairly regularly about doing that lately. We did that with the goat testicles.
Yes, we went back for a second helping on that one.
Oh, that's not a good way of putting that. There are recipes for that too.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless us.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, they call Rocky Mountain oysters, right?
Yes,
Bulls.
that's bulls, right?
Yeah, bulls. Why are we going
I'm
there?
guessing. Have you ever?
No.
Okay.
No, would I? Thank you. Oh, please.
It's okay. It's okay.
Move on. So last week,
Had
you
chicken
asked,
McNuggets, right?
oh, shut up.
Just kidding.
Keep your freaking chicken nuggets. Anyway, where was I? I was looking at something here. Gotta pull up my page.
What we did last week that we said we were going to
Yeah, I
continue
know.
with.
I'm getting it. I have it on my computer and I get stupid screens open as usual.
My buddy
Anyway.
Bruce contributed hydrocrystallophone. Apparently, that's another name for the
Really?
hydrocrystallophone.
Excuse me?
Hydrocrystallophone.
Say that 3 times fast.
I just did, basically.
So I'm looking for this stupid one that's supposed to be here, and it ain't there. That was the whole kick into the show. Wait a minute. All right, let me go back to this. Oh, this is so funny. So do you remember last week you asked me, we were talking about something, I'm sure.
Goat testicles.
No, we weren't. Not
Okay.
last week, was
All
it?
right. I don't know. Oh, Ron, there's like a dozen shows in between
I know.
this and the last show.
Okay, here
Talk
it is.
about a lot of things.
USS Cyclops.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, you asked me about it,
Yes.
and you had never heard of it.
Right.
So the USS Cyclops is one of those ships that mysteriously disappeared during the Bermuda Triangle, into the Bermuda Triangle.
Mhm.
And it's the biggest ship. It was the biggest ship in the U.S. Navy, and it disappeared without a trace. More than 100 years later, its fate remains unknown.
Okay. So this is early 1900s.
I'm going to find out.
It's an
Oh, get out the freaking pop-ups.
It's an ironclad.
No, it is not.
No, it's not. It's a wooden ship.
1918.
Wooden
Certainly
ship.
way past ironclad. I mean, way past wooden ships. Well, no, they had wooden ships, but it
Yeah.
isn't. So how could the biggest U.S. Navy ship
Mhm.
vanish without a trace? This is the question in many people's minds. In March 1918, when the enormous collier USS Cyclops disappeared on a voyage from the West Indies to Baltimore. So no trace, no wreckage, no nothing.
Wow.
The Cyclops was nearly 550 feet long with a crew of 306 people and 11,000 tons of magnesium aboard. It had been sailing successfully since 1910, so it wasn't their first trip around the block, traveling between the Baltic, the Caribbean, and Mexico, assisting the moving of coal around the world and helping refugees. But in 1917, when America entered World War I, the Cyclops became a key naval asset, transporting troops, coal, and fuel all over the world. In March 1918, the ship was given a new cargo, tons and tons of magnesium ore used in steelmaking. It left Brazil loaded up with the brittle metal.
Mhm.
And then the voyage to Barbados, where I've been, and for resupply and for the long journey to Baltimore. The last known message from the Cyclops was, fair weather, all is well.
Oh, wow.
But on the ninth day, I hate when they do that. 9-day journey, something went awry. No one ever heard from the ship again, and it vanished without even an SOS. That's the key, without an SOS.
Right. So it had to be a very sudden, whatever happened had to be a sudden thing.
Quick, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the Cyclops. So the Bermuda Triangle claims a lot of stuff, right?
Yep.
And things. But I wanted to talk about some of the other cool ones we don't know about.
All right. Having a massive search effort ensued after it vanished March 18, but the 540-foot long coal hauler ship known as a collier and its 309 crew would presume lost at sea. So they've never found this thing even
Nope,
since?
Not even the wreckage. Think about that.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a little baby ship.
Right. And we have much more capability now. And the wreckage would still be there, right?
Exactly. They may find it. Who knows?
Yeah.
So probably the most famous of the ghost ships is the Mary Celeste.
Yep. I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I don't know the story, but I've heard of it.
Yeah. After passing St. Maria Island in the Azores on November 25th, 1872, the last entry of the ship's slate, the Celeste, a merchant brigantine, became derelict of unknown circumstances. No boats were on board when she was found on December 4th, 1872, when between Portugal's and the Azores. The ship was devoid of all crew, but largely intact, under sail, and heading for the Straits of Gibraltar. The lifeboat was missing, though, but the ship was still in good condition and had plenty of food and provisions in the hold. The crew simply disappeared.
So the ship is okay.
Yep.
It's not damaged.
Yeah.
There's plenty of provisions.
Yeah.
And all the ships are gone, and the crew just abandoned ship for some reason.
Yeah, everything, they found everything just there.
Yeah.
Other words, like, they just disappeared, like they were doing stuff and then disappeared.
Oh, so did you say were there lifeboats and are they there?
No, the lifeboat was missing.
Oh, okay.
I guess they only had one lifeboat, but it was missing.
Oh, wow.
So everybody got into the lifeboat and took off.
Yeah.
They never found the lifeboat, too, by the way.
Well, yeah.
That
doesn't surprise me, but yeah.
But anyway, that's an interesting one.
Those ones, the abandoned ships type of thing, those always fascinate me. What circumstances gets a crew to just get off the ship in the middle of the ocean?
They had an inquiry into it, of course, and because they brought, they thought it was captured as what do you call it? Just can't think of the word, of salvage.
Okay. Yeah.
And because there's no crew aboard, it becomes salvage as long as there's somebody aboard, which is why the captain always goes down with the ship, they say, because they don't want to give up salvage to the ship.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The captain is supposed to go down to maintain the claim on the ship?
To the last possible minute.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway.
Yep.
So let's look at some of the other ones. The MV Joyita. It was a merchant vessel that left Samoa Apia Harbor on October 3rd, 1955, bound for the Toklo Islands. 5 weeks later, the ship was found with all 25 passengers missing. The ship's radio was broken, but it was attempting to, it doesn't say anything, just said it was broken.
Yeah.
All of the life rafts were missing, again, as well as the captain's log. Interesting. And so anyways, that disappeared with 25 people aboard.
Wow.
They could not find out. Nobody turned up. None of the crew turned up. None of the people turned up. No one. Now we're talking about islands. We're not, it's not like you can hide somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the dude?
That's the captain of the ship. Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like Bing Crosby, doesn't he?
Kind of Bing Crosby thing going on.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. See, so, that's the thing that kills me. Like, okay, you can see, they abandoned the ship. They went somewhere, but where the hell are they going to go? And if they showed up, they certainly would recognize them, right?
Right.
Interesting.
The other part about it too, I don't know, maybe some of these people were faking their own death or something.
Yeah, you got to fake. Everybody's going to fake the death.
Everyone's got to be on board, right?
Yeah, 25 people.
Right.
25 passengers plus the crew. The Roya Unmaru was a Japanese fishing boat that was washed away from its mooring in, oh God, why do I get these? Amamori Prefecture by the 2011 earthquake in tsunami. Japanese official first delivered the ship had been destroyed, but eventually it floated to American waters near Alaska. the U.S. Coast Guard decided to sink the boat to avoid navigation errors. Oh, okay. So there's no mystery there, right?
Yep.
Get blown away. Well, that was kind of dumb.
Imagine losing a ship of that size.
Yeah. How about the HMS Resolve? Resolve, right? No.
Yeah.
How you say it? Resolute.
Resolute.
Resolute. There you go. Was a ship in the British Royal Navy that was abandoned in 1854 after being trapped in the ice in Melville Sound, Canada. The ship was on an expedition to discover the fate of John Franklin, a British explorer who had been lost in the Arctic. After being abandoned, the ship drifted for 1,200 miles and was found 1 year later off the Baffin Islands in Canada. So these aren't ghost ones. These are just
The Resolute, if you've watched National Treasure, the timbers were taken from that ship and 2 identical desks were made, one of which resides in the White House. It's the president's,
that's pretty cool.
It's the president's desk.
Yeah.
And one it resides in Buckingham Palace.
Oh. SV Belle America. The SV Belle America was a classic schooner that was found derelict near Punta Volpe, Sardinia, Italy in 2006. The Coast Guard crew discovered the ship. They found half-eaten Egyptian meals, French maps of North African seas, the flag of Luxembourg.
Wow.
It was briefly to be a mysterious antique vessel, but when the owner of the ship found it, a man from Luxembourg claimed that it was a modern ship, and it was abandoned by its owner who couldn't pay the taxes.
Okay.
Yeah, but what's this half-eaten meals?
It's last meal before they get off the ship.
And Luxembourg flag and French maps. Doesn't smell like a...
Somebody else jumped on the ship and went on a
I
tour.
think he just wanted his freaking ship back.
Yeah.
All right, this is much better. The Carol Deering. Carol Deering was... Get the hell out with these pop-ups. How do you get rid of them? Oh, wait. Oh, shit. It's loaded. Oh, wait. Shoo. There you go. The Carol Deering was a 5-masted cargo schooner. Was last spotted when its crew, when passing through Cape Lookout Lightship in North Carolina on January 28, 1921, while it was traveling to Rio de Janeiro back to Norfolk, Virginia, delivering a cargo coal. She was found abandoned 3 days later off the North Carolina coast. The ship's lifeboats and logs book was missing, and the disappearance has been hypothesized that it might have been caused by weather condition, pirates, and even communists.
Well,
still, there was no conclusion to what happened.
You can't go with a missing ship. You can't go too far wrong with pirates or weather conditions, right?
Or communists.
I don't want to get into communists, but yeah.
But you know what kills me? If they take the captain's log and everybody goes and they just disappear, the whole crew and everything else.
I wonder if that's ship procedure. If the
I would think if you abandoned a ship, you would take the log. Yes,
log.
That would absolutely make sense to me.
Yep.
But why don't these people show up again? It's not like this was in the middle of the ocean. It was right off the coast of North Carolina.
Well, they ran into some North Carolinians and never made it or something.
Moon curses?
I don't know. Who knows?
Moon curses?
Yeah, sure.
You know who moon curses are, right?
No.
Moon curses, in fact, we were talking about this on the international show, Steve. They have a different name in the UK. But they would put lights by the beach to drive ships into reefs and stuff, and then kill the crew and plunder them.
There's a story of one on Plum Island. I forget. The person has a specific name or something that's trying to draw ships to their death.
Yeah.
But actual people were trying to do that.
Yes.
Right?
That's why they were called moon curses.
Yeah.
And the reason they were called moon curses because when it was a full moon, that the ships could see what they were doing. So,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were called moon curses.
Yeah. Who knows? Plus, a lot can go wrong in between a shipwreck and the shore, even if you're close.
Yeah, it's true. Fair enough.
Yep.
Like again, no bodies, no nothing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Whatever.
Fish food.
A lot of fish food. I mean, you're talking about the whole crew and everything else. So,
Yeah.
Anyways, the SV Kaz 2. Now I remember this one. This is an interesting story. The Kaz 2 was a 12-meter catamaran, was sailing in Australia with a 3-man crew in 2007. She was found drifting 88 miles off the coast of Australia 5 days later. The boat was in good, perfect condition. Is it good, perfect, or I don't know? Good, perfect. That's a stupid way of putting that. Condition, except for one sail which had been shredded. Investigators never found any of the 3-man crew, but hypothesized that they may have ended up in the ocean while trying to untangle fishing lines caught in the boat's rudder in choppy waters. And the boat may have been unable to get on the boat. All 3 of them.
Doesn't that make perfect sense?
No.
I mean,
all 3 of them.
It doesn't make sense that all 3 of them would go in the water.
Exactly.
Unless they had to, but you could see a scenario where
there was no life preservers gone or anything.
Yeah. No, they were.
So if somebody fell in the water, they would throw a life preserver.
No, they went in to fix something. And then the ship
No.
from them.
No. They didn't go in the water.
Oh.
The theory is that they were hanging. Well, you can see a picture of it. If you look on the bow of it, you can see where the.
So they got hit by a kraken and they all fell off the bow and
hit by a kraken.
Yeah. Kraken came up and hit them.
The theory I saw that one of them was trying to fix the rudder, and the other one was up. So the one trying to fix the rudder was down towards the water. Okay.
Sure.
A big wave came, knocked him in the water.
Right.
The other guy tried to help with the rope and got pulled in. And then the boom came around from the sail, swung around and hit the other guy and knocked him overboard.
Okay. Admittedly, it's a long shot, but you could see it happening.
Or it could be aliens.
Depending. No, aliens are a little longer shot, isn't it?
I don't know.
You got 3 people on a boat in roiling seas, for example.
No, what we don't know was roiling seas. It was calm seas according to the navigation. The ship was in perfect condition.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell that is.
So something would have to have knocked all 3 of them into the water.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Okay, let me put it this way.
And they were seasoned sailor. The captain was a seasoned sailor.
Let me put it this way. Let's go to Occam's razor.
Yes.
Occam's razor says the simplest explanation is probably the true one, all things being
and
equal.
Sherlock Holmes says when you rule out everything else, then the most reasons, no matter how impossible it is correct.
We were just talking about this before the show.
Yes.
The human condition. All 3 of them are idiots and found a way to end up in the water.
There you go. So they're all Democrats. I understand.
That's the simplest explanation.
Just kidding, my Democratic friends. You know I love you.
Just kidding, as far as you know.
Yeah. I voted for JFK.
Yes.
I vote for what the hell's his name? I vote for him every year that he runs. The guy that runs the lottery.
Guy that runs the lottery?
Oh, what the hell's his name?
I voted for Clinton twice. I got to admit that.
I do not know what I. That's a dirty word in our house. No, I vote for what the hell's his name? The guy that the lost money file and all that stuff.
I don't know. But so these were 3 idiots, and something happened, and they all fell in the water.
Okay, fine.
It's the simplest explanation, right? Somehow they were all standing by the same rail.
Or maybe they all just jumped in. They went swimming.
Maybe they just went swimming.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And got eaten by a giant shark.
And the ship floated off.
There you go.
Yep.
So simple explanation. Which one was it?
I mean, we've seen people.
So which one was it?
We've seen people who.
Well, which one was it? They were
get out
swimming
of the
or
car
were
and
they?
the car rolls away. Why wouldn't it happen with a boat?
Oh God, we've seen that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I kind of like the boon thing too. It's catamaran, right? So 3 of them were standing by the rail at the same time, and the boom swung and knocked them all into the water. Change in the winds, a microburst.
all 3 of them.
I know. Let's go back to they're just idiots. Or Kraken, if you like Kraken.
I like the Kraken. I like the aliens. The aliens not bad.
Kraken, by the way, can bring their little tentacles up and just pick them right off the boat.
Really?
Right?
That's true.
You've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
Just reach right over and pick them right off the boat.
Ooh, this is a good one. The SS Aurang Merindum. The SS, why do I get these weird? Ourang, Aurang Medium, Medam, was a ghost ship found 400 nautical miles southeast of the Marshall Islands in 1948.
I love ghost ships.
When an American ship found the boat, it was littered with the bodies of the crew, but it was caught fired shortly and sank with all aboard. According to reports, the vessel was sailing from a small Chinese port to Costa Rica, deliberately trying to avoid the
Tariffs? Pirates?
Yeah, somebody. Chinese, I don't know, authorities. The reports state that a sole German survivor of the vessel was killed by improperly stored sulfuric acid. So everybody got killed by sulfuric acid.
Ugh, what a way to go.
Yeah, according to that.
What a way to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad day at work.
You think so?
Yeah.
There's one here I did not want to tell. Do you want to hear a really cool one? Is the only people in the United States to be killed by a nuclear reactor?
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
We talk about accidents. That's how I switched over to this. Once again, I saw a squirrel. But the Army had one of the first nuclear reactors generating electricity. And it had a 3-man, it was an experimental. Mm-hmm. So they had 3-man, what do you call it? Team operating.
Right.
So nuclear, do you know anything about nuclear reactors? From our boy last week, the Boy Scout that they built one in the
That's right,
shed.
built one in the shed. Right, exactly. I mean, I know general concepts.
One of the things we talked about, control rods.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So basically, a nuclear reactor is the ions, electrons in the water. If there's nothing to stop them, then they just keep splitting and producing heat, which makes steam, drives a turbine, produces electricity. That's the theory, right. The simple theory of it. And then you control the nuclear reaction so that it's like not too much steam produced and everything else, right. And by putting control rods in that slow down or stop
right. It's like a throttle.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So it's their job to do that, control it or start it up. So the nuclear reactor, they I forget, I wish I remember where this was, but it's in the Midwest, like Kansas or someplace. Mm-hmm. The fire station evidently was connected to the nuclear reactor and an alarm went off. So they sent the team out there and they went into the nuclear room and they found all the guys dead in the nuclear reactor.
Yeah. So radiation, I'm assuming?
Yeah, radiation.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But it should have never happened because it was a very simple reactor. You just think that. So it's always been a mystery. It was an accident, I'm sure.
Yep.
So they said. But it was until a Vermont newspaper dug into deeper. He discovered that one of the guys in the team's wife was sleeping with his commander.
Oh.
Supposedly. Oh, why they found out it exploded as it did is that the rods are only pulled up 9 inches, and they found out the one that was pulled up 24 inches, almost 2 feet.
Yep.
Which is
not good.
Not good.
Yeah.
So
because the control rods slow the reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So and the more in
pull it out, build up, boom. See you later.
Yeah.
Okay. Sayonara, as they say. So the theory from this Vermont newspaper is that that was their first day that this guy was his commander was assigned to work under him.
Mhm.
So their theory is that he committed suicide. So he pulled the rod out 24 inches to cause the explosion to kill the commander and himself.
So it was a murder-suicide.
Murder-suicide. And the poor guy was just there.
Just there.
So that's their theory. The other one, the Army theory is that...
Seems a little complex, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Just take a gun and off the guy.
Yeah.
And then you
And the Army theory is that the middle rod used to stick a little bit. So the guy might have pulled it too hard and he pulled it out too far and it blew up. So that was the...
Oh, it would happen that quickly?
That's what the Army theory was.
Yeah.
So there you go. Interesting side note on whatever the hell we were talking about.
Life lesson here, Ron. It's always a woman.
Oh, God, they're always the result of everything.
Always a woman.
Everything that we do.
Mm-hmm. The base reason for everything is a woman.
I just don't understand sometimes.
Why?
What's that?
Why? What don't you understand?
Women.
Oh, well, yeah.
As hard as I try, as much as I love them.
Yep.
They cause me to drink.
I'm less concerned about understanding women than understanding our reaction to them. Because this guy pulled a rod out of a nuclear reactor and blew it up.
Theory.
In theory, over a woman. But it seems plausible, doesn't it? Would it shock you at all?
There's lots of plausible. The other one sounded plausible too, right?
Yeah. That's
a problem. We make
stuck a little bit.
Yeah, and he pulled too
hard.
hard.
The guy pulled too hard.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, I've done that, right? Haven't you trying to steer and you pull it and all of a sudden, oh, boom, you go flying ass back.
I've never done it with a nuclear reactor, but yeah,
no,
I
agree with
point.
you there.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you on that point of view, but it's intriguing anyway. But anyway, that's the cool thing. Anyway,
mysteries. That's the cool thing about mysteries. We're never going to know.
I know.
We are never going to know.
That's why I love them, I think.
Yep. That's why I love ghost ships. Ghost ships are so weird. When the crew just gets off the ship for no apparent reason. Like catamaran guys. We're sitting here trying to figure out how all three of them got off the boat. When, by the way, that's the last thing you do, especially when you have a perfectly good boat.
That's right. So I'll give you another one while we're at it.
Mm-hmm.
Did we do the Yang thing?
I don't think so.
So anyways, in 2006, the Australian coast watchers found a ship floating in the sea. It had a broken tow rope, so being lost while dragged around the water would explain why it was empty. Oh, forgot it. Get away with the pop-ups. Why does everything pop up here?
You gotta get a pop-up blocker.
I thought I had one. This thing just keeps on killing me. I'll
get the Brave browser.
But that was about all investigators could go on. The name of the ship, the Zhang Sang, was printed on its side, but there was nothing to identify the ship. Investigators found no records, no distress signals, no identity documents or belongings, no AR reports, no missing boats. They couldn't even figure out who it belonged to or where it came from.
How does that happen?
I don't know.
I mean, it had a name on the side of the boat.
It had a name on the side of the boat.
Although I'm guessing if it's passed around internationally that no one's paying attention to ownership transcripts or anything like that.
Yep. It just disappeared. Wouldn't you find a boat? That'd be fun, huh?
Finding a boat, yes. Just find his keepers.
Yeah, I think so. Right.
Although you'd have to go sage that boat, wouldn't you? If you just found a boat, you'd have to go clean it out or something.
Yeah. The fishing boat, High Aim number 6.
High Aim number 6?
Left T1 on Halloween 2002. But trick-or-treaters wouldn't be the only ghosts when the Australian Navy came across the ship in 2003. So that was a year later, right?
Mhm.
Well, several months later because of January versus October. The engine was on full throttle and the main gas tank was empty, but the auxiliary fuel tanks were still full and untouched. 10 tons of Bonito tuna were kept cold, but no crew could be found. It was it was said to be one of the most mysterious ghost ships of all time until one of the crew members was found.
Oh,
An Indonesian fisherman was arrested and confessed that the crew had worked with pirates to kill the ship's captain and the main engineer, but their reasoning is still a mystery. So, if they killed the pirate, they killed the captain and the navigator.
Yeah.
What for?
what did they put a hit out on the captain and the navigator?
It just sounds like, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you'd think the pirates would take the tuna or take the boat or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bizarre. See, that's what I mean. You have some of these things that even the explanation, you're sitting here saying, it doesn't make sense, does it?
No. Just get off the boat.
Yeah.
You know?
I have no clue.
Yep.
Anyway.
Had to do with a woman, I'm sure of it.
I'm sure it did. Nina. The Nina yacht. The Nina yacht's crew reached out to meteorologists with concerns about dangerous weather conditions in 2013 and stopped responding. Given the 70-mile-an-hour winds, and 26-foot winds, it was obvious the boat had been mismatched and never made it through the storm. A fruitless search effort might have been the end of it if it weren't for a mysterious message. 3 weeks after anyone had not heard from the crew, an undelivered text reached one of the meteorologists. Thanks. Storm sails shredded last night. Now bare poles, it read, noting that the boat was still on the move. The family of a 19-year-old girl on the boat took the message as a sign that she was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Private search and satellite photos, that's one thing we have is satellites, revealed nothing.
From the New York Daily News, this is 2013, satellite images of an oblong object floating in the Pacific, perhaps a ghost ship. A feeling hopes that they are an American sailboat lost at sea since June. The family of 7 crew members who were sailing aboard the 70-foot yacht named the Nina, which vanished off the coast of New Zealand, are now even more adamant that U.S. officials should get involved in the search. But so far, their pleas have gone nowhere. We've got 6 Americans out there, and the United States has only lifted a finger to say they're not involved, said Ricky White, whose 19-year-old daughter, Danielle, was on the ship.
See?
It's a nightmare, and the most difficult part of this nightmare, why does the government not want to participate? That baffles my mind, Wright told the Daily News. Initially, with the Nina lost about 370 nautical miles west of New Zealand, that country sent out a plane to comb the Tasman Sea. There are 7 people on board the 85-year-old mahogany schooner, once the flagship of the New York Yacht Club. 6 names, 7th crew member. The ship had set sail from New Zealand on May 29th and was headed for Australia. The last contact from Nina came June 4th as a strong storm pummeled the sea. A New England meteorologist said he received a text message from Nemeth asking for steering guidance. Text message. You're sending a text message.
Is that unbelievable?
Yeah.
No more SOS.
But the ship never activated its emergency locator beacon, and authorities weren't alerted until 10 days later that something was wrong. The satellite images were taken a month ago, and the family hopes to use them to get a firmer grasp on where the Nina could now be, and hopes it will spur New Zealand, Australia, and the United States to take action.
What year was that?
2013.
I'm guessing they didn't.
I'm guessing they didn't. Yep.
So when Filipino fishermen boarded a seemingly abandoned yacht in 2016, they weren't prepared for what they found. They found the mummified body of a German sailor, Manfred Fritz Bolgerat, who had been sailing around the world for about 20 years. He was last seen in 2009, although a friend said he had heard from Bourgeois on Facebook in 2015.
Okay.
There you go. There was no evidence of foul play, but there was the old mummified guy. Now that would be freaky, wouldn't it? Imagine boarding a ship and find a mummy there.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to sage that ship, right?
Yeah, save the mummy too. Just think of a tourist attraction that would make.
A mummified ghost ship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Oh, wait a minute. Think of the paranormal investigators that would pay to go on that thing. Right?
Men's Journal has an article on that oh, God, yeah. I'm going to show the picture of that.
Oh, we got the mummy aboard?
Yep.
Sweet.
There's the mummy.
Mummy.
Nobody knew how long the mummified body of the sailor had been slumped over a desk by the radio on a ghost ship and how long the boat had been drifting when fishermen discovered it 62 miles off the coast of the Philippines. Police in Barabo, a town on the eastern coast of Mindanao Island in the Philippines, had launched an investigation to determine whether a crime had been committed, although no foul play was evident. Now the mystery has been solved, or at least most of it. The cause of death.
I love that. At least most of it.
The cause of death was acute myocardial infarction based on the autopsy by the regional crime laboratory.
They did an autopsy on a mummy?
Yep.
Oh.
According to the National Police spokesman, Chief Superintendent Wilburn Mayer told the Free Press, the France Free Press, via Breitbart News and the Daily Mail, the German national is estimated to have been dead for more or less 7 days. What?
7 days and he's a mummy?
7 days and he's a mummy. Yeah, that looks like more than 7 days.
Looks to me like more than 7 days.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Looks to me like more than 7 days, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. The mummified condition of the body mystifies officials, but the Express reported that forensics experts explained that a combination of tropical heat, dry wind, and salty sea air can quickly preserve a mummy or a corpse. All you need is the right conditions so the body does not decompose. Dr. Janet Davey, a forensic Egyptologist from the Department of Forensic Medicine at Monash University, told the press, for a body to mummify naturally, different from ancient Egyptians who mummified bodies artificially, the conditions need to be dry with a bit of breeze going through.
Yeah.
It also helps when the body is in an enclosed area so insects do not attack the body. Is the middle of the ocean insect free?
Ooh, I hope so.
There can't be insects out there, can they?
I doubt it. But try. I don't know about that. If you're out in the where was it found? Philippines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not dry. I guarantee you that.
Badgerat's naked corpse was discovered in the cabin by fisherman Christopher Rivas and his companions, who found the 44-year-old yacht with a broken mast and the cabin strewn with photo albums, clothes, and tins of food. It's unknown if the mast had broken before or after the captain's death.
Why was he naked?
He was sailing naked. Well, listen, if you're going to sail, why not?
I don't want to sail naked. I don't want to do anything naked.
Yeah.
Do you want those things? Never mind. No, I do not want to. No, thank you.
Sure, that's one of the freedoms that a boat allows you.
No,
right?
And no. I would swim naked, yes. But would I walk around naked? No. You could slam them on something, for God's sakes.
It's true. Plus, there's the whole sunscreen issue.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's not a good thing.
Yep.
Naked and Afraid. Remember those poor people?
Oh, yeah. Do you watch that show?
I've watched it.
It's always on at the gym. So on the treadmill, I'm watching it with no sound. Yeah.
It just reminds me how stupid they can be, but that's besides the point. Steve says in the UK they don't blotch out the private parts.
Oh, really?
We're done?
Yeah, we're done.
How come we done? The wrong clock?
It's time.
Damn. All right. I guess we're done. All right. I had some of the better ones for last. Damn. Okay.
Well, we'll come back to it next week and we'll do it, as opposed to what we've done in the past is not follow up, right?
We've been following up every time. We've been religious since.
I know you said you were getting complaints. I was just defending us.
All right. Thanks for listening. And remember, put some clothes on.
Especially when you're sailing.
Yep. You don't want to be found mummified. I mean,
I don't care. If I'm going to be dead, I don't care. Find me naked if you want.
It's
not my problem.
I watched the Windsors, which is a parody on the royal family.
Yep.
And Will becomes a helicopter pilot, and he goes to see the guy, and the sergeant there, and he says, well, "You're not tough enough." He said, "Oh, I'll show you tough." And he grabs what he thought were walnuts on his desk and crushed them in his hands. The guy says, "Those were my nuts. I lost them in Vietnam."
All right.
Good night. God bless.
From goalies to ghosties, long-leggedy beasties, and things that go bump in the night. Deliver us, good Lord.